Okay, so let's look at some usable eighth note chromatic lines we can use by moving through Barry Harris's chromatic scale. And I'll show you the chromatic scale at the end here, because I'm assuming most of you know what it is, but I'm gonna be moving towards like a one chord, okay? And that one chord for this exercise will be the G major. So I'll play G major in some of its different forms. You'll hear the resolution. So the first one goes like this. We're going to start on the 2. And we're going to walk downward through Barry's chromatic scale and use it to resolve on the 1, okay? So we're going to go like this. Okay? That's the first one. I'll play it really slow here. You'll notice it's 2 bars, eighth notes, and then we land on the 1. However you want to play that G. You know, if you want to do a tetrachord or a seventh, you know, or a ninth, or whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat. Just something that feels resolved there, okay? Something arpeggiated preferably, because we've just spent, you know, a good deal of time, you know, marching downward in this chromatic way. It's nice to punctuate that with a phrase that's got some more space in it, some more distance between the notes. So that basically was moving. That had a feel that, you know, if we really slow this down and count through it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. If we look at it rhythmically, what's going on, you end up getting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that feels very familiar to a lot of us. You know, we've got that basic 2-5-1 cadence going on, and we're just walking down. It just so happens that as we move down that, you know, as we move through that in a downward way, we move downwards in fifths, which is great. This ends up having a natural sounding 2-5-1 sound. You know, you got that. This all sounds like the 2 chord. It's a very like stretched out sounding 2, but you're getting this. That's ultimately what you're getting, and it's got it sounds resolved. But we're just adding the chromatics between Barry's chromatic sounds between that to get this. So we can use this. We can use this to do more than just a root movements. There, I was using like it ended up having a sound like a 2-5-1. Well, I could get if I wanted to land on the 3, I might use like a 4-7-3 kind of a movement. I'm still moving down in fifths. They're diatonic fifths. I'm going from the 4th to the 7 to the 3. You know, that's a that's that flat 5 that we get. And so we can start on the 4th and get the same thing if we go right? We just started on the 4th and marched all the way down and landed on the 3. Let's see that again. So we're starting on the 4th, and we're walking down. However you want to end that, right? So if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to land on the 5, I can just kind of like, I know if I just go up in fifths, diatonic fifths, so I'm going to go to the 5, to the 2, to the 6. If I start on the 6, so I go. I just landed on the 5th, right? So I started on the 6, walked past my goal tone. Same kind of thing. I in both of those cases, you start to see, like, if I just move, if I start my downward sequence of chromatic notes, one diatonic step above, the tone I want to land on, I should land in. Let's say I wanted to land on the 6. Well, I should be able to start on the 7th, right? I should be able to, if I go up, start on the 7th. Let's say I want to land here, right? The 6 is the E. Let's do that one again. If I want to land on the 6th, I'll start on the 7th. And of course, what else is there? What else might you want to land on? You land on the root, the 3, the 5, the 6. If you wanted to land on the 7, we would start on the root. We'd start a step above. So I could go. Try that again. So for those of you who've managed to stick this out, and are wondering what is the Barry Harris chromatic scale, it's really simple. I just played through G, but in all of these cases, I was playing the G major chromatic Barry Harris version, and it goes like this. You just insert a half step or a passing tone in between each. If you think of it like that, not so much as like a chromatic scale, it does have a chromatic feel, but what he does, he basically inserts a passing tone in between each of the scale tones. And, between the 1 and the 2, there's a gap. So he just uses the natural chromatic passing tone in between those. Right? And between the 2 and the 3. But when we get to this, between the 3 and the 4, right? There's no gap in between. So he says, step over it. So you get this. Same thing at the 7 to the 8. And the same thing when you go down. When you move from the 8 to the 7, we go 8, step over to the 7, 4 to the 3, you got that step up and then down. And so on and so on. So all those lines are based on that formula for like running through the chromatics. And all of that stuff I played was all like perfectly, I mean, there's a lot of chromatic sounds in it, but ultimately on the downbeats, I was playing diatonics the whole way through. So in a lot of ways, it's very inside sounding, just because rhythmically, where we're starting in a lot of those phrases, you know, that first one I showed you, we're really playing harmonic sounds that land or are emphasized on those, but we're just, we're just using those passing tones to get to each of those scale tones. So you got a lot of chromaticism, but you're still like pretty inside. You're very inside. It's very balanced between a diatonic and chromatic sound. Anyways, yeah, that's really neat. I'm starting to look at like, how to introduce like chord substitutions using, Barry's chromatic scale, and I might do like a more advanced video to kind of show you like how you might navigate some of those. Anyways, stay cool. I hope you enjoyed this.